Let me show you how I explored Lauterbrunnen. This is meant to be one of the most beautiful valleys in Switzerland. So, I took a train from Wengen. Wengen is also in the valley, just high up in the mountains. It's where I stayed the night before. I actually didn't even plan to go to Wengen, but the hotels were so expensive in Lauterbrunnen for the days I was visiting. I visited in the first week of April, so just at the beginning of spring. And my best option was to stay in Wengen overnight, then go to Lauterbrunnen the next morning. If you want to see the hotel I stayed in, it's in my Wengen video. I arrived in the evening the day before, maybe around 8 or 9-ish, so I didn't really get to see the beauty of the valley. My first time really seeing the village of Lauterbrunnen was from above. Basically, Wengen is up in the valley and Lauterbrunnen is down the valley. So when you're in the train, it feels like you're in a cable car going up and down. In this case, I was going down the valley, and as the train was going down, I could see the land below me just open up. When you're on the train, you also get to see a few waterfalls. This is just a really beautiful place. And as I said, I visited at the beginning of spring. This is before the flowers are in bloom and the trees look lush green. I can't imagine what it actually looks like in summer. I was also really impressed with the infrastructure here. And when I say infrastructure, I mean all of Switzerland, not just this valley. Their trains go up and down the mountains and the services are excellent. The train prices are not too bad either, considering it does feel like you're in a cable car. And with cable cars, they're quite pricey. You usually go to one destination, and again, you also cannot carry everything you want. Whereas with the train, you get to carry so much with you. The train moves quite slow, but it does give you enough time to look at the landscape. And from the train, you also get a good view out of the Stolberg waterfall. It's this waterfall which you will see in a lot of Lauterbrunnen's pictures. The whole train journey between Lauterbrunnen and Wengen takes about 12 to 15 minutes. Wengen is car-free, so we actually had to drive to Lauterbrunnen, park the car there, and we used the train station's car park. It cost about 14 Swiss francs per day. There are other car parks as well in Lauterbrunnen, but they're probably more expensive. So after we parked the car, we made our way to Wengen by train. This was the only time we used public transport during this trip. The train price was around 750 Swiss francs for a single journey, and I bought the ticket at the train station. From the train station in Lauterbrunnen, you will be able to hear the waterfall. Once we arrived at the train station, I just followed the waterfall's direction. I had a jacket on, but this was really not a good idea because it was boiling hot. I don't know what it is about these places where there's still snow on the mountains, but it was still too hot for a jacket. And I would say anything with long sleeves. You can take a cable car in Lauterbrunnen, but at this point, I was already happy with what I saw from the train, so I decided just to skip the cable car. The village is quite small. If I wasn't recording, it probably would have taken me less than 2 hours to actually see all of it. If you want to see more than the village, like the Back waterfall and maybe hike around the valley, then a full day would be better. I didn't actually hike more than the village. I only stayed around the village, so I didn't get a chance to see the Back falls. And every direction I looked in Lauterbrunnen was just stunning. I mean, just look at the Alps in this background. And the fact that up on those Alps, on a ledge, there's a functioning village is actually crazy to me. That's basically where Wengen is located. And when you're in Lauterbrunnen, you feel like you're surrounded by mountains everywhere. It's almost like you're inside a giant fence that's made out of mountains. During this time I visited, which was the first week of April, it was actually a lot busier than I expected. And I don't think this is even the peak season. So I can't imagine how busy it gets, especially in summer or winter. And to be honest, I don't think I would like to visit during those peak seasons. I mean, first of all, parking would be a nightmare. The village ain't that big, and I think it's got limited car parks. So if there's too many cars, you will struggle to find a parking spot. And when I was doing this walk, it was actually in the morning around 10 to 11-ish. And I could see some of the bins were already overflowing. The restaurants looked way too busy that I didn't even bother to actually check what was available. I just went to this other supermarket. It's called the Coop or Coop. I don't know how you say it. It's the one spelled as COOP. And I just went in there, got some snacks and some drinks. Lauterbrunnen is an amazing place, but it definitely felt like a place that caters to tourists. Most of the buildings were like some kind of a hotel, restaurant, and there were just so many people exploring. But then again, I mean, if you look at the valley, the waterfalls, the mountains, it's easy to see why so many people come here. Funny enough, I didn't get the same vibe in Wengen. In Wengen, I actually felt like I came across some locals, whereas in Lauterbrunnen, I just felt like everyone was a tourist. So after around 30 minutes of walking from the train station, I finally got to the Stillback waterfall. I mean, it should only take you about 10 minutes, but for me, it took longer because I was recording as I was walking. Between the station and the waterfall, you also get to see a few small streams. After I saw the Stillback waterfall close up, I made my way to see the Lustina River. I'm not exactly sure if that's how it's pronounced, but if anybody knows how to pronounce it, please let me know in the comments down below. The river flows in the valley and it's fed by the glaciers and the waterfalls in the valley. This is the river. This area reminds me a lot of Slovenia. Slovenia has a lot of rivers that look like this, as in they have really clear water that you can see the bottom of it. And not just the river, to be honest, I think the architecture is very similar as well. I went to this place called Triglav National Park and everything looks so similar. The only difference I would say is that in Lauterbrunnen, it's way more busy, as in it's got a lot of tourists, and Slovenia is just a quieter version of it. I think if you don't like being around too many people, Slovenia is a better choice, And I would say the infrastructure in Switzerland is better though, because they have a lot of cable cars and trains going up and down mountain villages. Slovenia has more of like a raw and untouched vibe. Besides enjoying the scenery and maybe walking up to the waterfalls, I don't know what else you can actually do. And maybe, I don't know, take the cable car. Other than that, the activities seem quite limited. I think Lauterbrunnen is probably one of those places where you just enjoy the scenery. But if you want to do actual activities, then it's best to go to the neighboring villages like Wengen or Muren. And in those villages as well, I think those activities are best if you visit in winter.
Yeah.
After Lauterbrunnen, we made our way to Interlaken. I will be posting the Interlaken video soon, so stay tuned if you're interested. And thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.